Hear me?
Yeah. So I don't need my mic.
Nah.
Okay.
I'm about to go downstairs just to flip something in the oven right quick
Go
and
ahead.
shit.
Oh
But
shit, Reg making dinner. I ain't even eat yet. You making dinner?
yeah, I mean, pretty much I already made dinner. I was prepping it and I'm just like heating it up right now. So,
Okay.
cause I know tonight I got like a lot of homework to work on tonight.
Right. That's what's up.
Mm-hmm.
What up?
Reasonable Doubt is my favorite Jay Z. Yes, Reasonable Doubt. Yes. All this Jay Z talk. Okay.
American Gangster definitely was fire. Check that review out we did.
Yeah, one of our best reviews, I might say.
Yes. I seen somebody say Volume One. Volume One is definitely underrated.
That re-review is coming. The
Yes.
re-review is coming.
I love that album.
Speaking of Jay Z, yeah, I don't know why niggas are surprised he moved out of New York and shit.
So did Nas. So
Right. Eric
you
Sermon
know,
moved out of New York.
yeah.
Cameron, I think Fat
Yeah, he
Joe
been
moved out of
gone.
New York. All these
Eric
niggas moved out of New York and
Eric
shit.
was gone. Eric was gone in the '90s. I'm in Fife. You know.
Shit, it's not like just because you repping your fucking city, you have to stay there all your life and shit. That's it only by your choice and shit, you know?
Right.
Hey, what's his name? Jadakiss still stays in New York and shit.
Yeah, that's what I hear. With all that jewelry on, I don't think he should. You
Is
know,
BJ coming?
I don't know. He should. Right? Did BJ mention Embryo before to us? He mentioned this album.
Yeah.
I thought he would definitely show up for this one. I need him to come on here and claim why Jadakiss is the GOAT. And he been dodging me. I don't understand that.
Yeah,
At some point, that conversation needs to be had. Why do you feel like Jadakiss is the GOAT? Because his albums are not good.
I'm just ready for this next verse. That's what I'm waiting for.
Whatever that
I'm trying
is.
to hear my Oh, Studded Growth did a video about Dipset and why their growth was studded and shit. I'm gonna send it to you for a minute.
Why their growth was stunted?
Yeah.
When? On at the verses?
No, it's a YouTube channel where he talk about how rappers almost reached their potential but never fully reached their
They
potential.
they they already have a legacy. Their movement
Exactly.
was huge. So what does people talk about? This is like it don't just start and end with one album, yo. You know what I'm saying? Like they had many projects. I kept telling people this. I'm like, yo, you gotta listen to everything past Diplomatic Immunity Volume One. They dropped a ton of stuff. These niggas was doing liquor, coming out with their own liquor and porno and stuff. Like, come on. Do you not remember Dipset? You know? They came out with everything. You know what I'm saying? Their own clothing line and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like they did it all.
You said DMX made a diss track to Mary J. Blige. When was this?
Well, DMX is dead, so this must be old.
Right.
I never heard of DMX having beef with Mary ever.
And they
Joel
both from
Santana. Huh?
and they both from Yonkers too.
Right. Joel Santana, exactly. His first two albums were solid. Name two Jadakiss albums that were solid. I can't name any. There's one. What's the other one after the first album? You know, Jim Jones, Fire. He had solid albums. Cameron, solid albums. They were dropping heat all through the 2000s and 2010s. So I guess people forgot. You know, even after they, came in and Jim stopped talking to each other, like Jim was still doing his own thing. Bird Gang, all the Bird Gang mixtapes, the drama mixtapes, all that shit. Max B was putting out fire before he went to jail. You know, Stack Bundles, rest in peace. He was putting out fire before he got killed. Like people forgot. Yes, I would say Cam started that because before that niggas wasn't rocking pink over here in New York. When he came out with the pink, the pink mink and the Range Rover, we started rocking pink. I got a pink Lacoste rugby that I never wore that. The tag is still on it. Never wore that. It's people forgot they have a legacy already. So I don't understand this whole jumping on Dipset because they lost at the verses. The verses don't mean shit to me. Well, whether Dipset lost or won, like I already know Dipset legacy. I was there when they were dropping all that heat, so I don't care about the verses and whether they lost or they won.
Versus.
You
Yeah.
remind me. I don't think that's real.
What?
That DMX diss song. I don't think that's a real song.
Yeah, Ronnie just sent it to me too.
You remind me, and she had a song called "You Remind Me" on her first album. Exactly. Purple City Bird Gang. Aguilar. Y'all remember Aguilar? Adolf, the assassin. Aguilar. He was down with Purple City. Uncasa was like a freestyle. He was always in those freestyle battles with like Murder Mook and Party Artie. Rest in peace to him. You had Shice Bub, Bezel. He was from Philly. He was down with them. There's so many members. Like that's why I said like I think it would like the verses. If they were cool with all those members, it would have totally like changed everything. That shit not real. Somebody put like DMX verses to that song. That's not a real diss song.
I'm looking at the comments.
These people are dumb. They don't know. Okay, I was at Mary J. Blige's first concert ever in 1992. There was no beef with her and DMX.
Fuck it. Did West Side Connection ever? Oh, the Bow Down album, my friend.
Yes, we
That's
gotta
gonna
talk
be
about that. Definitely,
that's coming after Straight Outta Compton when it comes to the re-reviews
definitely.
because it's gonna be a double between that one and Terrorist Threats.
Ronnie, where you find that fake diss track from, man? Stop going on the internet.
Y'all funny.
They lying to you, bro.
I So in about 8 minutes, I'm gonna start this video once I take my wings out the oven and shit.
Oh, you got wings? Where the ranch dress? Where the ranch dipping sauce and all that?
I got garlic parmesan and I got my special jerk gravy sauce.
Nice.
Yes.
Shit, Red, you gotta have a foodie channel on here, bro.
Oh yeah, that's coming. That's in the works.
You want some Emeril Lagasse shit.
Yeah, man. Like I said, once I fix my camera stand and shit like that, and fix up my kitchen a little bit, yeah, I'm gonna start whipping and shit.
Hip hop and wings.
Play hip hop music, not just music in general. Make some shit too, man.
Yes, I love buffalo wings, man. I love wings in general. So I'm black. I love wings and watermelon. I'm black. I can't help it.
I hate watermelon.
You don't like watermelon?
I hate watermelon.
I love watermelon.
Cause I recently put like a Facebook post, like I shared it saying watermelon is like the worst fruit.
What?
I mean, I don't think it's the worst fruit.
What's the best fruit to you?
Bananas, apples, grapes.
I love watermelon. I'm sorry, folks. I'm black. I love wings and watermelon.
You know, I hate that green thing in the watermelon that gets in the fucking way. Hate how the watermelon just
the seeds, Reg? What are you
I hate the fucking seeds and shit. Like with the banana is more good in my opinion. Pause.
But that's cool. That's good. Grapes, I love grapes. Oranges.
Orange is aight.
Mango, because I'm Caribbean. That's a Caribbean fruit. I love mangoes, but they got to be the sweet ones, not the sour ones. Pineapples is great.
I love pineapples.
Have you ever been to Buffalo Wild? Nah, I never been there. I love wings, but I the home cooked wings, not the. I don't do too many like restaurant shit.
Buffalo Wild Wings is all right. They just don't season the wings like that.
You gotta put your own seasoning. Wow.
No, I mean, how can I put this? You know, it's white people wings. That's the best way to put it.
Exactly. You gotta put your own seasoning.
Yeah.
Lemon pepper and Jamaican jerk wings. Yes, those are good.
You know
Lemon
what?
pepper wings.
Hmm.
Honey wings too. Like shout out to my chicken.
Yeah.
Shout out to my Chinese takeout spot. They got some dope honey wings. Yeah, honey wings are dope too. And garlic wings. What up, Cruz? Better vocalist, Dionne Warwick or Diana Ross? I got Diana.
I got Diana too.
Me
Speaking of
too.
Dionne Warwick, I was just listening to that fucking Dion album, the first album from Arista. That shit go hard.
Barbecue wings, yeah, I like barbecue wings too. Of course, naturally, anything barbecue gonna taste good, man. If it's done right.
Right. Um, one wings I definitely like is this wings I tried in Walmart. It was like some ranch wings. It was slapped as fuck, bro.
Anybody like chicken sandwich? What kind of chicken sandwich? There's many different kinds.
I
Chicken
can't
cutlet.
stand it. I
I
hate
like
McDonald's chicken sandwich.
I like chicken cutlet sandwiches. Those are great. Or like the deli cut chicken slices. Those are dope.
So I got a music question for you, Try.
Of course you do. Everybody seemed to have a question for me.
What do you think is the best sequel album in hip hop?
Cuban Link 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with that too.
Do you consider in my lifetime sequels? Those are sequels, right? So
A sequel to a Reasonable Doubt?
no, a sequel to In My Lifetime Volume 1. You got 2 and 3.
Yes and no.
No?
I say yes because I do consider the volume an unofficial series and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that, but
Right.
no, because I felt like structurally all three of those albums was very different. It's not like with Cuban Links where it's pretty much this
Mm-hmm.
mafioso production. It's pretty much the mafia production in a contemporary view and shit like that too.
The Carter series.
Ooh, I forgot about those.
Mm-hmm.
Those were true sequels. Yes.
Two and three to me were the best.
Yeah. Carter one was dope, but it could have been a little bit. I mean, it was good, but not
Mm-hmm.
great. I'm gonna be
Right.
real. It was close to being great. He was funny.
Right.
Um, what's that one sequel album? I keep forgetting. ELE 2. Yes.
That was good. That was good. I still love part 1, but part 2 was good.
Yes.
He didn't come back and try to be too different. So, what's the worst sequel album?
Oh my God. Collection
Um,
Channel 2.
it's been a minute since I heard that one. Um, if we going, are we counting Blueprint?
Yeah, we can come
Yeah.
Blueprint. Yeah.
Well, anything after 1, 2, and 3, I didn't like at all.
True. I'm gonna take my wings out, then we're gonna start.
Yeah. Volume 2 is a classic. I love that album.
There was at one point when everybody was just dropping sequel albums and shit.
They was. They tried. They tried it. Spicy chicken sandwiches. I never had that one. Blueprint 2, terrible. Don't like it. The drought. The drought is a mixtape though. Mixtape. That's a mixtape joint. Money Cash Holes, Reservoir Dogs. Great songs. He needed a video for Reservoir Dogs too. Favorite Wu-Tang video? If we sticking with just the group, uh, mm, can it all be so simple? I love that video. Cream was dope. Method Man, the Method Man video, the first Method Man video, not the second one where he's like dressed up in like the lumberjack shirt and all that, cause it's like two different Method Man videos. Favorite Ray and Ghost collab? The Jodeci Freaking You remix. My favorite collab with them. Yep. Swiss Beats did the remix for Limp Bizkit. That's from the Fast and Furious soundtrack. I have that on vinyl. Triumph. Oh yeah, Triumph was good. As yours was dope. Iron Man or Cuban Link. They both go hand in hand. You know, Iron Man is like the sister album to Cuban Link. It's like a sequel album to me.
Yep, that shit's gonna slap.
You know, Limp Bizkit is garbage to you. I
Yeah,
love Limp
they
Bizkit.
are.
I love Limp Bizkit.
Yes, they suck.
I'm a Limp Bizkit fan. Bobby Digital was dope. That's a dope album. I enjoyed it. I wish he would release the movie finally. That's still on release.
I'm ready whenever y'all are.
Let's go.
All right, you say you got the album, right?
Yes.
All right, what's up, you two? How's everyone doing this lovely Wednesday? It's your boy Reg in the building. Got my homeboy Try with me.
What up?
And we are finally going to talk about Maxwell's second album, Embryo. This is his second studio album released in June 30th, 1998. All these years, I thought it dropped in 97, but this was produced by Maxwell and Stuart Matthewman. If you guys know that name, you guys have been paying attention because he was a member of Sade's self-titled group and also a member of Sweetback. Very dope jazz saxophonist, jazz producer. Singles albums known for are Luxury, Coca Cure, and Matrimony Maybe You. And no guest appearances on this album. Um, I'm trying to think. Did I ever talk about Urban Hang Suite?
No. We were supposed to do it. We didn't. We never did it.
Let me. Yeah, I'm trying to think if I did it in a solo review. But how did you get into Maxwell? In case I never asked.
Just with was it Cops Come Knocking? That single when that dropped, and I remember seeing the video on Video Music Box back in the day, and it was dope. It was different. I started seeing. I didn't know who he was. I started seeing the video like every day. They were playing it, and then when Ascension dropped, and that was like my favorite song from Urban Hang Suite. And when the album came out, I remember going. Album came out like I want to say it was '95. It came out
Which one?
'96. Urban Hang Suite.
96.
'96. The day I went to get the Fugees album, not the Fugees All Eyes on Me. The day I went to get that, I got the Maxwell album the same day, and I enjoyed it. Like it was real melodic. It was great production. You know, he's a great singer, and I was a fan from day one. You know, just from that album and when Embryo dropped and the Now album, all of his albums, the recent stuff, Black Summer's Night. He took like a 7 year gap, and we were wondering what happened to him, and you know we needed him back in R&B, because like R&B to me in the 2000s was crap, you know, commercially, except for like the neo soul artists, and you know people were craving that new Maxwell stuff, you know, and I think he's always been a great artist, and he did the music that he wanted to make. He wasn't too commercial, you know, he wasn't too underground. He just stayed like at mid level, and you know he's one of the best. You know what I'm saying? And you know this I never heard like a whack Maxwell album. I think everything he's done, like he takes his time with his projects. He doesn't rush nothing out, and I
Oh,
think
wow.
that's good. That's good. That's the way it should be. Like don't rush out something just to, you know, please a label or you know satisfy the fans. Like you gotta come out with it when you feel like it's ready. So yeah, I've always loved his music. You know, like I say, he's a great singer. Yeah, so I'm glad. I don't really. I think before people, we used to always talk about him, and like over the last decade or so, people kind of forgot about him because of everybody else that's out now. But you know, I'm glad that we finally talking about him now. So
Yeah. And to answer my question, I never actually reviewed Urban Hang Suite. I thought I did, but oh
right,
wow.
right.
Yeah, but I actually got into Maxwell, believe it or not, during 2001. I always used to hear the song Lifetime in the radio. Very timeless song. And also around that time too, I heard Fortunate from the Life soundtrack.
Mhm.
An overrated movie, but a dope
You thought
soundtrack.
Life was overrated?
Yes,
What? Oh
yes.
man, Rich.
And I blame the internet because it's been in recent years the internet like made a huge deal of that movie. And yeah, it's funny, I like it, but it's like people always mention the cornbread scene, and it's like the only scene motherfuckers mention, and they want to put that in the same class as other dope movies from the night like Jews, Waiting to Exhale. I'm just like I never saw it on that. I was like, it's a good buddy film, Martin Lawrence,
Right.
Eddie Murphy, a good cast, Bernie Mac,
Mm-hmm.
Anthony Anderson, but it's not. To me, it's not anything. It's like part of the whole 97, 99 black movie, which I'm gonna get into that in a minute, but
Mm-hmm.
it's like one of the most overrated movies ever.
Wow.
Yeah,
I never seen them like put it on the same level as Juice and Boys in the Hood.
it's always the internet. They're always talking about like because when it comes to like certain movies,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna get back to Max. Like when it comes to certain movies like Juice, let's say
Mm-hmm.
Juice for instance. Remember those scenes motherfuckers mentioned. I
Right.
don't give a fuck scene.
Mm-hmm.
When Q was doing the DJ shit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hell, even the final fight. But with
Mm-hmm.
life, it's always cornbread scene. Cornbread scene. When Eddie Murphy got knocked out, when he made a Della Reese reference, Harlem Nights, and shit like that. It's just
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, I get it. Damn.
Mm-hmm.
It's shoving it down our fucking throats and shit. It's like, god damn. Like I said, I've always never really thought life was like I said, it's a good movie, but
Mm-hmm.
to me, not a great movie.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't even think out of like the '90s Eddie Murphy films, I don't feel like it's mentioned enough. I mean, it's always Nutty Professor and Doctor Dolittle.
Low key, I would rather watch Nutty Professor over Life. Doctor
Yeah, that was
Doolittle,
good. That was
I
good.
couldn't stand Doctor Doolittle. It was
You
too
didn't like that?
kitty. Nutty Professor had his kitty moments, but at the same time, it was entertaining. Like it
Yeah.
was vintage Eddie Murphy,
Yeah.
but with the more safe. It's more he went more safe with like everything after '94, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, but back to Maxwell. Yeah, the Lifetime song. I've always loved that. Yeah, and yes, R. Kelly did produce that track too, and shit. If I'm not, I think he wrote and produced it for Maxwell, if I'm not
Mm-hmm.
mistaken.
Yep.
Um, and you know, I heard Urban Hang Sweet probably like the late 2000s. I think I know it was like when I was leaving high school. You know, when I was really getting into neo soul and shit. Very dope album. You know, it's pretty much I've always considered Urban Hang Sweet, and this is very my opinion like the 90s successor of Marvin Gaye's I Want You,
Right.
just because of the way how the lush arrangements, the way how Maxwell was singing. Like I felt like Urban Hang Sweet was more Marvin,
Mm-hmm.
Embryo was more Sade, if
Yes,
that makes
I
sense.
do agree that. Yeah.
Yes. And so yeah, that's how I really got into Maxwell, you know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna say this once and once for all. I know like when we were talking about the whole D'Angelo, oh look who is here, look who it is.
I was waiting for him to call.
Yes. Hey BJ, you want me to send it to you? The link so you
Oh
can talk
man.
about this album too?
You know they were selling Urban Hang Suite as an EP though,
Yes.
and it was like $5 back in the
Yes.
day. Yeah, it was
But
a
yeah,
full album, but it was selling like for $5.
I wish albums were like that these days. But
Right?
anyway. But yeah, I wanna clarify something. I made a comment. When we talk about the whole D'Angelo verses,
Mm.
I kind of made a notion that I felt like Maxwell was not on D'Angelo's level. I just want to say this once and once for all. I stop. I'm being dead serious. I'm being
Okay.
dead serious. I love Maxwell.
Mm.
I love D'Angelo. I just appreciate D'Angelo more, but that does not mean I like Maxwell any less. I just
This,
said,
this dude can beat D'Angelo. I'm telling you.
oh, see, there you go. Yeah, I'm trying to really be mature about this, but
Mm.
I'm saying when I said Maxwell and D'Angelo cannot beat D'Angelo in a versus battle, what I meant to say, and this what I meant to say was D'Angelo catalog, like those three albums, had a more of an effect on me on Maxwell, and I have loved all of them. With Maxwell, I like Maxwell's discography. He has a very good discography, but I'm not a big fan of the Now album,
Mm.
which I like, but I'm not
Right.
a big fan. And the recent album he came out with in 2016,
Mm.
it was okay. It could have been a little bit better and shit, but at the same time, that does not mean I was throwing shots at Maxwell. That's all I want to say. I just said D'Angelo was Jesus. All right, but
Man.
yeah, I'm gonna send BJ the link. Give me a second. But let's talk about who Maxwell is. He is a singer. He's a singer born in Brooklyn. He is Haitian and Puerto Rican. Mom is Haitian, father's Puerto Rican. And when he was growing up, he loved R&B music like SOS Band, Royce, Prince, of course. And he mostly described that music as Jerry Curl soul and shit like that, because everybody was rocking a Jerry Curl that time and shit.
Right. Smokey Robinson.
Right, Lionel
Mm-hmm.
Richie and shit like
Yeah.
that. And of
Mm-hmm.
course, that Jackson boy and shit. But anyway,
That Jackson.
um, yeah. So by the time the early '90s happened, he started performing like in the New York club scene and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? He started like getting his name out there, and so once he got his name out there, he actually got a deal from Columbia Records because Columbia, they called him like the next Prince. They were intrigued when people started calling him the next Prince. By the way, BJ, I sent you the link. By the way, if you can join. Um, and so that's when he met Leon Ware. Now, if you guys know about Leon Ware, he's one of my all-time favorite producers. He worked with Marvin Gaye, Minnie Riperton. I want to say Norman Connors too, and they were working on Maxwell's Urban Hang Suite, which they will start working on that in '94, but it didn't end up getting released in '96 and shit like that. And because of the fact that Columbia, and this is something that Maxwell had to face a lot of times,
Mm-hmm.
Columbia pretty much wanted Maxwell to have a more commercial appeal. And you got to remember, neo soul at that time, was forming. It was pretty much like it didn't really have a name because you had cats like Jim Marquis, the cats that did the song "Virtual Insanity." You had Michelle, and I always fuck her last name
And then
up.
cello.
And the cello, thank you.
Mm.
I'm saying and the cello, and the cello, and the okay, I got it. Okay, I got it. All right. Of course, you had Lenny Kravitz to an extent. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Who was part of the whole alternative scene. But then when D'Angelo came out with the Brown Sugar album, that was what really laid the landmark and shit like that too. Because R&B, it was like the Jeep. I consider that the Jeep R&B, hip hop soul. With the R. Kellys, the Mary J. Bliges, the Jodeci's, the Babyfaces. Well, even though Babyface was not Jeep R&B, he was still another force to be reckoned with around that time too. So Urban Hang Suite was finally released in 1996, and it is a classic album. And I've always thought I reviewed that album. I never. That's another album we definitely have. I want to get Ash for that review too if she's free, but
Right.
I want to do that after the Janet Jackson Unbreakable review and shit. So yeah, man, that was nominated for Best R&B Album for a Grammy Award, but for some odd reason, it lost to the Tony Rich Project's Words album, which I never really been a big Tony Rich Project fan and shit like that. I'm gonna be real with you.
It's good. I think it was overrated though when it came out.
Yeah, definitely and shit like that. But yeah, so that album pretty much was like a slow commercial success and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? Because it debuted at number 38 on the R&B hip hop albums charts, and that was known for songs like "Don't Ever Wonder," "Till the Cops Come Knocking," "Whenever, Wherever, Whatever." I love that track. You know what I'm saying? And the next year, '97, he came out with, and I'm gonna get some flack for this one. The Unplugged album,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna be real with you guys. Everyone loves that "This Woman's Work" song. I hate that song. I hate that "Woman's Work" song. I
You don't
hate
like
that
that one?
song with a passion. He said he can't get on because he's not in a good place for y'all to hear me. Okay, I respect that.
You gonna have to come on and justify Jadakiss as the GOAT because I'm not understanding this. You know.
Like I said, that's on y'all because I'm done with the conversation. It's been 2 fucking weeks. Like literally been 2 weeks since his verse, and y'all still talk. Still talk. Can we just? Besides both Dipset and Locks stream sales went up and shit. Can we just appreciate that in the name of
Yes,
hip
I
hop?
appreciate it. I just don't like. I didn't like the whole disrespect for Dipset. I'm like, why these people have amnesia? They don't remember what they came out with.
And what I agree with too.
You know.
Oh, it's been 3 weeks. Oh wow, that makes it even better. But yeah, I'm just joking with y'all.
Every day they posting something about them.
Well, yeah, that's every day. Yeah, I gotta agree with you because every day if you say, "Oh, Jadakiss was doing
Right.
this," Jim Jones, I'm like, okay, damn, we get it. Fuck.
Right. Crazy.
Why don't you tell them what they were eating for breakfast while you're at it and shit? But yeah, but I'm fucking with y'all and shit like that. Y'all can do y'all thing, but I'm just saying, I'm just done with the fucking conversation. I just want to know the next verses. That's all I want to know.
Right.
Because I heard they're trying to do Damon Wayans and Dave Chappelle, which I'm gonna give my thoughts on that after. Because I know somebody asked my thoughts last night, but I didn't really go in.
Right.
But back to This Woman's Work, I cannot stand that fucking track because it gets so overplayed. I remember back in high school, motherfuckers used to always sing that stupid shit too. But there was some controversy with that too because once again, Columbia Records wanted to release it as an EP and shit like that, and Unplugged as an EP. And many Unplugged albums at that time, like from Nirvana to Babyface, had full-length albums. So why was Maxwell an EP and shit?
Right.
But anyway, the Unplugged performance was a dope performance. That's one thing I definitely need to do, top Unplugged performances and shit, because
That'd be good, yeah.
Yeah, I felt like the last good one to me was the Alicia Keys one, but we'll talk about that. Um, so yeah, he was getting ready for Embrya. The label all of a sudden wanted him to do Urban Hang Suite again and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, that trash movie played that song. But yeah, they want to play, but then Maxwell said if he would have done that again, he would have failed as an artist and shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
A classic movie.
I don't.
Classic.
I gotta get that review over with.
Oh man.
Yeah, I gotta get that review over. It's like once y'all talk one. It's like once we did a Tupac movie breakdown, I was just like, what movie should I do next? Knowing damn well I said this shit, but yeah, this whole fucking album that like stylistically was very different. It felt more like you're underwater when I
Yes.
first heard it.
I got
Like,
to mention something too about that.
you said what?
I want to mention something about that too.
Okay, it's like
But
with Urban Hang Suite, and this is I felt like I was getting a room at the fucking Hampton Inn, the King's Suite, chilling with the fucking girl,
right,
drinking some fucking Chardonnay and shit like that, eating
right.
grapes, have a white robe on. That's what I feel like when it's Urban Hang Suite. When I listen to Embryo, I feel like I'm underwater, just cruising underwater and shit like that, in an enchanted, faraway land and shit like that, unbeknownst of the real world. Because,
Mhm.
like, when I first heard this album, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know what I thought about it. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know what I thought about it.
Right.
Hold on. We ain't hating on Baby Boy. That's one thing I don't do understand. We don't hate on Baby Boy here. That's actually a classic.
Uh,
But yeah, and
what?
Maxwell, he said pretty much, and I quote: "People identify with honesty and risk. What happened in between his? He became more guarded when between Urban Hang Suite and Embryo and shit too. So yeah, man. And what were you about to say? I didn't want to say too
I
much.
was saying, um, what when you heard the album, what track was the first track?
The first track I heard from the album.
Yeah, like what track listing did you see on for the album?
Um, I'm not gonna lie. I want to say it's the Ever Wanting when it's always
Okay,
because
now
I didn't hear the Gestation track. I think
okay
that was like a
now
crew gap.
for the OG copy of MBO, Gestation is the first track, but it's not listed. It's listed as 00,
Yeah.
and it's a what they call a pre-gap track. So it's like a track that starts off before the actual album.
Hmm.
But on the re-release, they remastered the album in 2018. When they
Yeah.
came out with it, Gestation is the last track. So this is the OG copy. The OG copy it starts off with Gestation and then it goes into the other songs. So it's like, but when you play it, it actually works better as the last track for the remastered version because when you play, the last track is on the Embryo title track, right? And you got like, well, we talk about it, but it goes into Gestation and it makes more sense. It's like a seamless like track, but for whatever reason, on the OG copy, it's the first track on the album. So
I never
that's
knew
that's
that.
what I was asking you because there's some track listings that have Gestation as the first track, and then the remastered one has Gestation as the last track.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
Never knew that. Interesting. Because I was actually very close on getting the remastered. Because you remember when I met Ari Lennox and Arta Cool,
Yeah.
they were selling. This vendor was selling fucking the album, the Embryo album. But he was selling it for like $34 for vinyl, which I was kind of like,
Mm,
mm,
yeah.
nah. I mean, I love Maxwell, but I have my limits when it comes to certain vinyl like
Mm.
price to get. And I felt like I can get it like more cheaper, like on Amazon or some shit like that. You know what I'm
Where
saying?
Eric at? Just hit up Eric. You know.
Shit. There's other albums I need to get before I touch Embryo. If I get Embryo, I'm going to most likely see it in stores and shit.
Right.
Because I always see it in stores. But anyway, Where was I going with this? Fuck. Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, so yeah, so damn, because I was so close on getting the fucking album, but then I was just like, you know what, fuck it. So I didn't even know about that shit until you told me.
Hmm.
But yeah, let me see what else should I mention about this album before we go.
They panned
Yeah,
it. The reviewers that would like when it first came out, they panned it. Like they were saying like it was too it was too like it was like the lyrics were like it don't the lyrics don't match up with the titles of the songs. So like you
no
see like
abstract.
how he did it. Like I like the concept where he was like he picked like one word to describe each song, like matrimony, maybe you, and then he had like luxury, coco cure. They were like it was the lyrics don't match up with the titles with the song titles, and
Yeah.
then
Oh, good.
it got like mixed reviews. Like there was some that was like they love the production, but the lyrics and the lyrics for the songs don't make sense.
Yeah, I definitely can they see what they say about that because I noticed with this the songwriting on this album, they went more abstractual. Um, like I said, I felt like with Stuart Matthewson, they pretty much were trying to like very influenced by Sade. Like it picked up right where Love Deluxe left off
Yeah.
in a weird way.
Hmm.
And Love Deluxe itself had a lot of abstractual songwriting too and shit like that too. You know what I'm saying? Compared to the previous three albums, in my personal opinion.
Right.
So yeah, I
Vinyl
think.
said he got the vinyl in 2015 for $10.
Well, thank you for sharing that with me and bragging it to me. Let me stop. Let me stop. But yeah, that's what's up, Vinyl. Yeah, man. Yeah, I think the only Maxwell album I got is Urban Hang Suite. I don't even have Now and shit, which that's actually my least favorite Maxwell album, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, 12 tracks. I'm gonna let you talk about Gestation first since you heard that before I did.
It's basically you know what it's yo you remember when Nas did Fetus, and
Yeah,
when Fetus wasn't that was leaked, that was supposed to be on a double album. Like
yeah.
the way Fetus starts off with like the baby in the womb, that's how it starts off. It's just like a bunch of like sounds, like water sounds, like you can hear him like in the womb of like I'm assuming like his mom when he was like a fetus, and that's how the sounds on Embryo is. It's like just like the being in the womb of of a mom, of a mom's stomach or whatever. So it's no singing. It's just like just the what. That's why I say it fits better on the remastered version because after the title track you got Gestation, but for whatever reason on the OG copy they put Gestation as the first track. So I didn't understand that, but it kind I guess like for the first track it's like the introduction to the album. Like when you see him on the album cover and he looks like he's in the womb or whatever, it makes sense. But it actually plays better. It plays out better as the last track after Embryo.
So pretty much what you're trying to tell me is that it pretty much used what Biggie did for the Life After Death intro
Right.
with the like fetus and the
Mm-hmm.
being
Yeah, like
born.
that. Right.
Oh,
Like what not like what Nas did with Fetus. Yeah, it's like that.
okay, cool, cool.
So there's no music on it. It's just like the sounds of it.
Oh, okay, got you. All right. Now we're gonna get into Ever Wanting to Want You to Want. Wow, a very beautiful song. Very lush, very smooth and whatnot and stuff like that. Already you can really tell the difference with like the sound compared to Urban Hang Suite and shit like that too. Maxwell, like Maxwell is very vulnerable, like with this song, just the way he sings. Like it's like a very mysterious vulnerability that he possessed throughout this whole fucking track too and shit too, which love this track. Must listen.
Definitely a great track. It's 7 minutes long, long ass track, but it's definitely a banger. Nice beat, nice bass line. Really melodic. You got like the orchestra playing in the background, which reminded me so much of like Sade. And you hear like a lot of the older Sade albums like on Love Deluxe and Promise. She always used like an orchestra behind like a lot of her songs and yeah, definitely a banger.
Yeah, very. Excuse me. Very dope track indeed. Now we're gonna get into "I'm You, You Are Me, and We Are You." Part me and you. I can tell he's not selfish, but okay. So this is a very interesting track where he's giving us like his Spanish roots. The first verse is in Spanish, and then the second verse is pretty much the first verse but in English. And what I got from this track was like how he's saying how a man is trying to understand his own family, and pretty much how he try like to experiment his closeness with them and shit like that too. It's pretty much just a man embracing his family and wanting to create a legacy, if that makes sense. So again, another very dope track. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, very good track.
Yeah, I thought it was dope, and him embracing his heritage, his Puerto Rican heritage, and singing in Spanish, and the track again was melodic, nice beat. It had more of a like a dubstep type of like melodic type of dubstep R&B track, but it was definitely dope. I like the horns in it and the guitar arrangements and really melodic track.
Yes. All right. Now I'm gonna get into luxury Copacure. I don't even know if I'm saying that right.
Yeah,
Yeah, this is a single off his album and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much the song is like what I got from this is like a lover trying to look for relationships. You know, after like going through many heartbreak. The thing about this track, he actually debuted this track at the 1998 Essence Awards. But the thing about that track, it was like a more different version.
right.
I used to I've seen that performance before on YouTube. I don't know if it's still on YouTube though, but I know Ronnie will probably send it to me if he has a chance. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, um, the album version is like a lot more different and shit too. Pretty good song in my opinion. Just pretty much talking about how one has to save themselves from heartbreak, and after getting the heart stomped on plenty and plenty of times by these scandalous females and shit, these gold digging ass females or whatever. But yeah, very dope track.
Oh, yeah, I told BJ to get it on vinyl because it's out of print. That's why. Like I told him to get that over the first Tribe album.
Mm.
Ronnie said it was sampled by Juvenile. I never heard that one.
Really?
Yeah, on 400 Degrees, he sampled it.
Oh wow, I never that could re-listen to that.
That definitely it's a dope song, man. Like I think this was the first song I heard from the album before everything else. It was this song they were playing on the radio back then. But it's definitely like a banger, like nice beat, nice bass line. It's really like a dance track, real nice violin and guitar arrangements. Again, he had like the nice orchestra, like live band playing in the background. Definitely a great song. One of my favorites on here.
Yes, definitely. Track number five, Drown Deep Hula. Um, this was a very good song too. You know what I'm saying? It definitely has a more island vibe that kind of crept in. You know,
Yeah.
kind of reminiscent a little bit of Sade Stronger Than Pride, a little bit more groove based, a little bit when I
Mm-hmm.
heard it.
Right.
Um, this is actually one of the three songs co-written with Stewart and shit like that too. So, and he was describing this song because he said like the song came out as an accident because he was messing with the presets on a new effects panel,
Mm-hmm.
and he played with his like little guitar part, and he loved like the funny sound it had, and that pretty much was what was the basis of the sound and shit. You know what I'm saying? So I thought that was kind of unique because I feel
Right.
like certain mistakes, and this is one thing I like about making music, like certain mistakes, you have to sometimes like listen to it sometimes if you really want to work with that shit. You know what I'm saying? So, cause more like and it kind of reminds me of Prince's "The Ballad of Dorothy Parker" from the Sign of the Times album. Because if you hear that beat, it had more like a very muddy, like unfiltered kind of feel to it.
Right.
And his engineer, Clea Fisher, made that by accident, and she was kind of worried that Prince was going to get mad. I was like, oh shit, what am I going to do? Prince heard it and he fucked with it and shit like that, and the rest is history, pretty much on that track.
I it sounded like a ukulele playing though, instead of like a like the good. If it's a guitar, it's like a, I don't know. Like when I hear it, it's like one of those Hawaiian instruments that you would hear, but it has like a real tropical, feel to it.
Yes,
Like the beat was dope, and the bass line. I feel like a lot of the bass lines for this album, like it it's the star of the track. Like it actually carries the track. Besides the other instruments, but yeah, like it's a well produced song. One of my favorites on here, definitely. You have like
definitely.
water sounds in the background too.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm telling you, like this whole album, man, it's just like
it's a whole vibe.
the whole vibe. Like it's like
Yeah,
an album. You can't just pick one song.
yeah. Every
Like,
song is good. Yeah.
yeah, you have to like sit your ass down and just listen to it all the way through and shit.
Mhm.
Um, then we're gonna get into Aro con Polo, which is excuse me, I skipped a track.
Matrimony.
Matrimony Maybe You, another single off this album. Love this track. Again, it's pretty much a track where he's talking about strong feelings he has for his lover, talking about marrying her. The music video was very unique.
Yeah,
I
that's funny.
love the video, like how it has like the Miss Harlem or whatever
Yeah,
beauty
Miss
pageant,
Uptown
like
pageant. Yeah.
Uptown pageant. Yes,
Mhm.
very, very. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Erica Badu's Next Lifetime,
Yeah.
music video that is to this day I'm not on YouTube for some odd reason, but that's another story
Oh,
for a
wow.
different day. Yeah, and I'm gonna definitely do a video reaction to that one because that
Yeah.
video is a work of art.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely the video is hilarious. I mean, not hilarious, but it's like he's just praising like Harlem women in the video, and they have like this big Miss Uptown pageant, and he was having fun. You can tell he was having fun in the video. He was dancing. He was laughing. It's a great song, and he's talking about like are you the one for me? Like, are you just another one night stand, or can I marry you? Can I take you down the altar? And I think that's is a real positive message in the song, and the beat was dope, and again it's another danceable track. Real funky. I love the guitar breakdown like towards the end of the song, and a lot of these tracks also they got like they give the instruments their own time to play and breathe, and then the track fades out. But I like the fact that a lot of the instruments on this album they have their own time on the tracks so that they can play as well.
definitely. Yeah, definitely a very dope track. And thank you, Ronnie, because he did send me that Essence Awards performance like I thought he would do. So
Right.
appreciate that. Um, Now we're gonna get into Arroz con Pollo, which is rice with chicken. Thank you
Yes.
so much, Vinos, for that heads up. Um, this was pretty much an instrumental
Hmm.
and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Very very smooth instruments. Ironically, it's the shortest track off this album. Ironically, so
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, compared to like you have songs on here that's like 5, 6, 7 minutes long. So this is definitely like the shortest one on the album. Great
right,
funky instrumental track, nice bass line, nice beat, the guitar playing, the horns, dope instrumental.
definitely a very dope instrumental. How we gonna get into um, know these things, shouldn't you? I want to say I wrote this maybe as my favorite track. Yeah, I think this is probably my favorite track off this album. To be real with you, very sensual track. You know what I'm saying. Again, it still retains that little watery, underwater kind of feel to it and shit like that. But at the same time, what he was talking about with this track was the fact that and this is probably what I got, like how two people can hurt one another in a relationship, but they gotta be aware of one's feelings and shit like that, and the repercussion that comes from it and shit too.
Mm-hmm.
So very, very, very deep track. Um, I love the line where he says, "You shouldn't know these things and be this awfully well in tune. Go as if not aware. Be like those others that assume." Like definitely very, very, very dope track. I love it.
Yeah, and he sang it without no beat. There's no beat on the track. It's just him singing a cappella, and you got the horns behind him and the guitars, and definitely the way he sang it beautifully. Definitely a great song.
Very great song. Now we're gonna get into "Submerged Till We Become the Sun." Again, another haunting song. This is like the most Sade-ish song
Yes,
off this
she
whole
should have been
album.
on here. She should have been on this song.
Yeah, unfortunately, she was taking a break that time and shit too. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, man. We didn't talk about "Soldier of Love" yet, did we? No, we
Nah, I don't
didn't.
think. Nah,
Yeah,
okay.
definitely. This was a very dope track. You know what I'm saying? Over to under into your wonder, baby. Like I said, it definitely had that Sade feel to it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Very lovely track. You know what I'm saying?
One of my favorites, definitely. But when I remember the first time I heard it, I'm like, yo, this is Sade. Definitely, like she should have been on the song, like singing background vocals or something, because they channeled her essence of this song, and the it's really melodic, it's really dark. The bass line, the percussions on it, the synthesizers. Really, it's really like a mellow track. And it starts off like that, and then like it hits another chord, a higher chord, towards the end of the song, and you sang it well, and the chorus, submerge within the light, illuminate my night, and let your atmosphere surround me. Dope song. One of my favorites on this album.
Definitely a very dope song. Track number two in Gravity, Pushing the Pool. This was a very solid song. I'm not gonna lie, the last this song and the next song, I like. It was very solid and shit like that.
Right.
So yeah, that's all I have to say.
Yeah, it was dope. Like again, it had like that dubstep type of R&B feel to it. The synthesizers, nice beat, really type of a really different type of like sound, like a EDM sound to it. But I liked it though.
Definitely like it. Track number 11. Each hour, each second, each minute, each day of my life. Very Prince title, by the way. To me, it kind of reminds me a little bit of the Whatever, Whenever, Whatever track, from the Forever Hang Sweet a little bit. Very solid track. Again, nice way to end off the album vocally.
Yeah, one of my favorites. Again, a great track, nice beat, nice bass line. It's really melodic. Nice the hi hats on it, the guitars playing. The chorus he's singing. Do me till I'm done, till comes up the sun. Who knows where it's from till the morning comes. Very very dope song. The title is long as hell though. Like, and the way that they have like the title on the album, it's like all bunched up together. So you gotta like really like read it like word for word, because it's like it's not separated. So it's like all bunched up together.
Right,
But yeah, that definitely a dope track.
definitely. And the last track is Embryo, which is pretty much an instrumental. Nice way to end off the album. Very smooth, very haunting
Mm,
and shit.
right. Again, it's like you have water sounds. You got like fast moving sounds, all type of sounds on the track. There's no singing. There's no beat. And it just go gestation. It has like voices on that track, and it was hard to make out what they were saying. I remember there was one voice saying 39 weeks, so maybe that has something to do with like being in labor like for 39 weeks or whatever. So they mentioned that on the gestation track, but it's basically like Ambia and gestation are like the same track, because they have the same type of sounds on both tracks.
Exactly. All right, and that concludes this. Overall, this is a very, 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 very good album, but it's an album that you have to listen to appreciate it a couple times. Don't go in expecting Urban Hang Sweet. Hell, even now, because I notice like a lot of people kind of rank now a little bit higher, which well, I'll get into that in a minute. But with this album, it's more, it's pretty much what Maxwell album he always wanted to make. Because there's a lot of people over the years that said Maxwell was like a mixture between Prince and Sade, and they both had that mysterious vibe. So this pretty much can put people's perception together and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying about what it would be like if Maxwell and Sade did some music together. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? But overall, I love the production. I feel like Stuart Matthewson and Maxwell did their thing. I'm gonna definitely give this. I'll give this a five mics. Fuck, I'll give it five mics.
When I say 5 mics, I get crucified for saying it's a
Hold on,
classic
well,
album.
no. Let me no, because you gave the Last Temptation out of all
I
albums
think that was a solid album.
of five mics.
I
I
think it
didn't
was a
even
solid
give
album.
Country Grammar five mics.
Last Temptation and I don't feel like he had even the biggest singles off of that album compared to Pain Is Love and his previous albums. But every track on it to me was solid.
And every
It,
track on this was solid to me.
yes, it is. I agree. But for some reason, when I say it's a classic album, it's what's wrong with you? What are you talking about?
Because I never heard, because when in Jaws fan base, people would
Mhm.
say that album was a decent album. Like the five mic classic in their family were probably VDVDVG or even Rule 336 and shit.
Okay, and they're right. I said his first four to me are classic. That's his best albums. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Last Temptation is a great album.
Alright.
You know what I'm saying? If it wasn't great, I would have gave it anything else other than a five. I feel like it's a strong album like the first three. After Last Temptation is when he starts to go downhill. You know what I'm saying? And it's been and I have to go back and listen to Blood in My Eye, but from
Same.
what I remember, it wasn't no classic.
Yeah, I can already tell you that right now.
You know what I
But
mean?
is it really a disappointment? I don't. I have to re-listen to
Right.
it. 'Cause
This was a great album, and even with this album, it took a while to get into when it first came out because I was expecting Urban Hang Suite, and there's some songs that remind you of that album. You know, when you listen to Matrimony, Maybe You, and Luxury Coco Cure, there's that those songs could have been on the first album, but then when you get to like the darker songs like Submerge, you know what I'm saying, and I feel like the whole album is a vibe. It's like it's really melodic, and you love to smoke, so you can smoke to this whole album. You know, it's really mellow. It's really melodic. The instrumentation, to me, is the star of the album because Maxwell is a great singer, but the instruments he really like. He did his thing singing, and then he let the instruments take do what they needed to do for each song. I think that's important, especially for R&B, like neo soul, like to actually let the instruments play, so people get that feel for each song, and that's what he did on the album, and the production was great, and it was like listening to another Sade album. Like if you close your eyes and listen to it, like you could hear Sade on all of these songs. You know, so I think it was a great album, and neo soul. People forget neo soul was created to go against the mainstream. It wasn't created to be mainstream. You know what I'm saying? It was created for like so that they can all the artists can go against the mainstream and do what they wanted to do musically. So it don't need to be commercial. Like even though it went platinum, and it got like mixed reviews or whatever. People liked it and people saying that the lyrics don't match with the album titles, but I think it's a great album. You know what I'm saying? Like to me, it's his most underrated album in his discography. Now is another album that I gotta go back and listen to because I have that one, but it's been a while since I heard it. But I think this one is his most underrated compared to the first album, and even Black Summer's Night got more praise than this album.
Ooh,
You know what I'm saying? And that was a great album. The
That
first
that's
one,
oof,
yeah, we gotta talk about that one. The
that
first
that's an
volume was
album
great.
I will put next to Urban Hang Suite. I
Yeah,
feel like that's the second best album.
definitely, definitely,
Yes.
definitely. You know, so yeah, I feel this one, people liked it, but I don't feel like it got the praise that like Black Summer's Night Volume One and the first album. But to me, it's a classic. I love it. Every song on it, even the instrumentals were dope. You know what I'm saying? That the one minor thing I didn't really, well, I understand it, but I just felt like it could have been done in a different way. Was like the intro. Like there's no intro, but Gestation is the intro to the album. But it really should have been at the, like if you put it in the beginning, then Embryo should have been right behind it. You know what I'm saying? Like because it's gonna confuse people if they get the OG copy and they hear that as the first track, and then you hear Embryo. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like those two tracks could have been like together. But other than that, it's a great album. I definitely feel like it's a far like underrated album in my opinion. So this is one of my favorite Maxwell albums, and I appreciate the album now, 20 years later than I did back in when '98 that came out. So yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I like I said, we've been knocking a lot of quality lately.
Hmm.
I might move. I might just move. What I might do is instead of taking a break, I might just distance my reviews out and shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I think I might just do straight out of Compton next Thursday and shit like that, and just do the Emil Sunday and shit. And then we can do the Battle of the Bangers whenever. Oh, I now I got to do my list.
For which one? For Quincy?
Yes.
I thought your list was done.
I never start my list until you send me your list.
What?
Yeah.
You no, I'm thinking I'm sending in your list because your list was already done and we was gonna do the battle soon. I didn't know it wasn't done yet.
Oh,
Oh,
I never
oh, so you always.
because I always start my list whenever you send me your list.
Hmm. That's funny.
Yeah, I always because the first time we did that, I picked we picked a lot of the same songs and I had to redo my list. I think the
I
first one we did was Large Professor.
Where's Sam? Is Sam here? Sam, what's the record? What's Reggie's record against me? I think I'm what 6-2. So yeah, you actually should go be first because you're going last and you're still losing. So you know something you got to switch it up.
Yeah. That's why we're gonna do the album battles next and shit.
Album battles.
Yes.
Jada versus Ja Rule. I still say Last Temptation is better than his first album.
You
Any
you,
of his
want,
albums.
you really want to do that?
Yes.
All right, fuck it.
Any I could pick any song from Last Temptation and it's gonna beat Kiss the Game Goodbye.
Okay.
The only round you're gonna win against We Gonna Make It because Ja Rule ain't got a hard track like
Oh,
that.
you know what? I'm gonna buy this album.
You don't have the album. You don't have
No.
the.
'Cause I was gonna plan on buying it so we can just do this fucking review and
That's
shit.
his best album to me. That's still his
The
best
classic.
album. Yes, that's his classic though. That's his classic.
It's a known classic.
No, it's not a known classic.
It's a
No,
known-
when people talk about Jadakiss albums, they don't ever say he have a classic album. That's his classic
yes,
album.
they do.
I've never heard that. What album do they pick from Jadakiss that and people say it's a classic?
Kiss the Game Goodbye.
Yeah, but is it classic with the other classics or is it just his classic? That's what I'm saying.
I call it.
Because I don't feel like you can put that with Cuban Link or with The Chronic or Doggy Style. I don't think it's a classic like that. It's his classic. It's his best album. I don't feel like it's an overall classic though. There's a difference. You know what I'm saying? Like this is why I want to talk about these shitty discographies because a lot of our dope lyricists don't have great albums. Fabulous is another one, a dope lyricist. He have no classic albums, but people like nothing from nothing to something. That's like his best album. But is it a classic that's going up against that's in that whole tier of exactly? So that's his classic album. That's his best album. That's how I feel about Jada's first album. That's his best album, but I don't feel like it's a top tier classic. You know what I mean?
Let me see how much this album's on Amazon.
Kiss to Death had bangers, but I feel like that album is outdated. We should move on from Ja Rule.
Don't worry, we have 3 more albums left. I was thinking. I was thinking of something.
BJ said Black Summer's Night should have been longer. Yeah, that's only like what 9 songs that was on it. 8 songs. I forgot how many was on there. It's like 8 or 9 songs and that was on there.
I want to say 9.
Purple Haze is better than anything Jadakiss got out, and Fabulous. That's considered Cameron's best album, but to me, I think Cam got other great albums besides Purple Haze. SDE to me was a great album. Come Home with Me to me was a great album.
Okay, it's $20.
He didn't want to sing. Maxwell didn't want to sing Fortunate. He wanted to sing the song Life, but R. Kelly rejected it. I didn't know that. Confessions of Fire was good. I don't consider it a classic though. Like, but SDE Come Home with Me and Purple Haze. He had a 3 album run. Jadakiss never had no 3 album run. Or Fabulous. He never had no 3 album run.
Fab didn't have a 3-song run.
Fab got hits. He just don't have no classics. He got like maybe solid 3.5, 4 mic albums. He don't got a 5 mic album. To me, his mixtapes is a different story. To me, his mixtapes was his best shit. You know, and that was the problem that a lot of those artists had in the 2000s, especially from the East Coast when they were making numerous mixtapes and their mixtapes was coming out better than their albums. Jadakiss is a product of that. You know, when he's dropping, the Champions Here mixtape, when he's dropping the I Love You mixtape, he dropped countless mixtapes that were better than his albums. You know, Al Qaeda Jada, another mixtape that was fire. Do I think Nas fell off after Illmatic? No. Nas had. I don't feel like Nas ever fell off. I feel like Nas had some bad albums, but I don't feel like he didn't completely fall off like how LL and Eminem did. You know, nah. He got classics after Illmatic. It was written as a classic. You know what I'm saying? I Am to me is still a underrated classic album. You know what I'm saying? Stillmatic, classic. Godson, great album. You know, we talked about the Distant Relatives album with Damian Marley, great album. It wasn't promoted enough, but he got nominated for a Grammy for that album and he went on tour. You know, Street Disciple I like. It's not a great double album, but I liked it more than Blueprint 2. You know, a lot of people love Untitled. That's still an album that I don't care for.
I don't know why. That's
I like some songs. I conceptually I like the idea of him doing that album. I just feel like the production could have been better. But I don't feel like he ever fell off. Ice Cube fell off, definitely.
Mega.
You know,
Weapon.
when he started doing that Don Mega shit, yeah, that's when he fell off. Street Disciple I like. I've always liked it. But it's not a classic, but he got bangers on there. Thief's Theme came from that album, and Alchemist did that. That's why he should do a whole album with Alchemist. Like, give me a whole, 12 songs of Thief's Theme. That'd be a classic. You know, that came from that album. He had the bridging the gap with him and his pops. Got nominated for a Grammy for that song. American Way, him and Khalees, I like that song. He got some bangers on Street Disciple. And Method Man, what about Method Man?
That one I think falling off.
Yes, Method Man fell off after the first 2 albums to me. But he was still relevant. He still kept himself on features in other people's projects and stuff though. You know, even now, he hasn't dropped the album in forever, but he's still on people's album. You know, he did the Lemon joint with Conway last year, so he's still relevant, and you know he's been doing movies and stuff and TV shows. You know, I'm waiting for that Method Man and Havoc album. I think that would be fire. Havoc still got it. Distant Relatives is definitely a solid album. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people slept on that because it had like a reggae rap fusion. But Damian Marley's a dope producer, and he produced like that whole album. It was fire. Untitled. We're gonna talk about Untitled. We're gonna review that album. Redman fell off? Nah, Redman didn't fall off to me. Redman got one bad album in his whole discography. Yeah, Method. That's why he's still relevant because people still fuck with Method Man and Redman. They still got it. You know, they don't need to drop another album ever again. They already legends. They already did what they needed to do. Better rap duo, Raekwon and Ghost or Method and Red.
Hmm.
That would be a good versus right there. A good like tag team versus.
That should have been a dope versus.
Yeah, I would like to see that joint. They both had each of them had their own verses, so I would like to see that. Blackout is my favorite one. Blackout 2 had some joints though. It wasn't whack. It had some joints, but Blackout 1 to me is like a classic.
I gotta re-listen to Blackouts. I haven't heard that in years.
The first one?
No, the second
The
one.
second one? Yeah, it's been a minute since I heard that one.
I'm gonna stay on until about 12:40.
It's different energy that Red and see how Red and Meth like they. It's not just about rapping for them, but they have natural chemistry. They make people laugh. They charisma. You're not gonna get that from too many of these new artists.
Right.
You know, they could have just did a whole verses off for just telling jokes and shit. It was funny.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
What's a good album from the South that you can say was very melodic?
That was melodic,
Mm-hmm.
minus the Dungeon Family stuff.
I mean, you can mention Dungeon Family.
Society of Soul, Brainchild.
That's a good one. I've heard that in a while.
It's been a minute too. Eight Outcast of Criminal,
Love that.
great album. MJG, No More Glory.
Ooh, I never heard that one.
That was a dope album. Y'all remember the song Soul Sister by Bilal?
Yeah.
Crit was here. Yeah, Big Crit. Have a definitely dope melodic production on his albums.
Yes.
I have Catalactica. I have that one.
That's his best album, I think.
That's his best album. The other one, I've heard some of the other ones. I don't have those yet though.
Country shit. Country. That's that shit.
Same thing with the Dog Pound. I don't feel like the Dog Pound fell off. I feel like they're not making their best music anymore. But they still relevant. They still doing music and shit. You know, Corrupt is doing reality TV and shit. Never thought I would see that. Yes, we need Black Star album is coming though. I think that's already done.
Man, they've been saying that for like the last 20 years, man.
Supposedly it's done already. I
Yeah.
I definitely think I don't know. Maybe they have to find a label to put it out on. Cause they're not Ruckus is gone, so they're not as a group. They're not with no label. Then they might have to put that out independently. He already did it. He was on what's that shit? Marriage Boot Camp. He was already on there with his wife. Like last season, he was on there.
We're ready for Do or Die too.
That shit better be fire, man. If the track listing is real, he only got like 13 songs, and this dude been like doing this album for like the last seemed like 15 years. You gotta have more songs than just 13 on here.
Do something.
You know.
T-Pain. I wonder how that AZT Pain song gonna sound.
I got it. It got to be more tracks, man, because it's 13 is not enough for me. For this to be his last album, supposedly.
Yeah.
You're not retiring? You don't think he's retiring?
He'd probably drop a do or die 3.
Oh God! Well, how long we got to wait for that? Another 15 years? He been dropping songs from this album for I want to say since 2010. Like one single a year. Like if you go on his YouTube channel, he got videos for singles that hasn't been out. And they're not on featured on the track listing. So he been dropping songs for this album for the last 10 years.
And no Nas.
And no Nas, right? This is your last album and no Nas? I don't get that.
How about that?
We deserve a Nas and AZ album then, if that's the case. And yeah, no Firm. We deserve a Firm album, a firm reunion album with the original members. Not No Nature this time. Cormega. That's the album that the fans want. The real Firm album and production by anybody but Hit Boy. It got to be Dre on there and Havoc, Alchemist. Give us the real Firm album that we was robbed of. You know. Back in the day when I was a part of the Yahoo rap group chat rooms, because that's how we did promotion online too. Like for different labels, we would hit up the rap chats, the rap groups in there, whatever artist it was that we was promoting, and spread the word about whatever they had coming out, whatever new single or album or movie, and then we would have to show it to them. So we copy and paste whatever we did, and then send it to the label, and that's how they were hitting up the online, online promotions, before MySpace and Facebook and all that. Can we review some Cormega? Oh yeah, we could do that. That's definitely gotta do that. Way too many features. Yeah, for 13 songs, he gotta give us more songs than that. It should be at least 18, 19 tracks. Because AZ wasn't really the type to do a lot of features on his own albums. You know what I'm saying? He had features here and there, but he didn't have a whole album full of features though. I promoted for Def Jam. Everybody on Def Jam. Rockefeller, Murder Inc. When DMX had his label, Bloodline Records. Def Soul, when they had the Def Soul R&B division. Dipset, State Property. Everybody on Def Jam. Avista Records, same thing with them when Clive Davis was over there running shit before he made J Records. Outkast, Pink, Edema. Blue Cantrell, I think she was over there. Usher, everybody on Arista, CeeLo, and then for Capitol Records when Snoop was over there, and Ice Cube, Greatest Hits, I promoted for that. Limp Bizkit, their remix album, Erykah Badu on Motown, Everlast, when he was doing the Eat It Whitey's project. WWE, I promoted for a lot of people. Every label that you could think of, I was doing shit for them. Atlantic Records, everybody. MCA Records, Universal Records.
What I missed?
You talking about the AZ album and why he got so many features on it.
AZ do or die.
Dog Pound is always dropping new shit. Daz is always dropping mixtapes and stuff. They was dropping mixtapes forever. I got one of the Daz mixtapes actually. Corrupt, he's always doing music. I promoted for De La Soul Artificial Intelligence Volume 1, and CNN the reunion album on for Tommy Boy. What you think of DJ Pooh Bad News? I haven't heard that album in years, so it's been a minute. That's definitely a slept on album. Loud Records. I don't think I promoted for Loud Records. It might have been for Big Pun's Greatest Hits. For that one, and Alcoholics, the XO Experience, that one. That's about it. I didn't promote for anything else for Loud Records. You like the song Stand Up? Yeah, that was dope. Kanye West. That was a dope song.
Stand up.
That's from what album that's from? Word of Mouth?
I think so. Either that one or Chicken and Beer.
Chicken and Beer. Chicken and Beer I got. I don't got Word of Mouth. Chicken and Beer was a great album too.
Sure, I got with him now. I don't got Chicken and Beer.
What do you think about Dog Food? The Dog Food album is classic. Five Mics. Classic album.
Love that album.
Definitely.
Excuse me, shit.
DJ Pooh. Did you ever hear the DJ Pooh Bad News Travels Fast album?
I heard some of it, but not all of it.
I haven't heard that in years, man. I don't even have that album. That's a dope album though.
That sounds good.
Cali is Active was dope. I didn't hear the dog shit album. I didn't hear that one.
Cali is Active came out in 06, right?
Nah, that was before 06. I think that wasn't that like early 2000s that came out.
Oh wow.
I want to say. That joint that was a dope album. I enjoyed it.
Sam said, did you promote for Duck Down?
Yes, I did. I promoted for the Duck Down DVDs, the Duck Down visuals. I actually have the DVDs that they sent me. Promoted for the Chosen Few boot camp album, and that was it. Yeah. Just I didn't do nothing for Sean Price stuff, or the Buckshot and Ninth Wonder stuff. Just the Chosen Few album, and the DVDs that they were coming out with. Oh, it was 06? Okay. I thought it was like 02, 03 that came out.
Oh wow.
But they had like mixtapes coming out. They had like mixtapes with both of them, like dropping around that time.
Never reviewed Camp Low.
Nah, I never did Camp Low stuff. Another underrated group.
I like the album they did with Pete Rock.
Yes, 80 Blocks from Tiffany's. That was dope.
Yeah.
A lot of tracks on there. That was like 22, 23 tracks.
Sure.
But Pete gave them some heat, man. Like he still got it. You know what I'm saying? Definitely got to talk about some Camp Low. I don't got no Camp Low albums, man.
Yeah, the album to go for a lot of money.
Yeah. Better lyricist, Snoop or LL? I'm impressed. Yeah, this Snoop Dogg discussion is gonna be surprising, though.
Snoop Dogg breakdown.
Yes, the discography review is gonna be. There's some albums that I'm really surprised by.
Sure, I gotta start listening to those albums today.
What you waiting for? The shit is on Friday.
Shit, I was listening to fucking Embryo and shit. And most new albums, I already got a good
I already know what I'm gonna say, like Doggy Style, Dogfather, like at least the first six.
The first
I'm good
six.
on. Yeah, the first six. I'm good on. Everything after, I'm gonna definitely listen to. Wait, hold up.
What's the first six? I know the first four. I know the
Doggy
first five
Style,
on them.
Dogfather, The Game, No Limit,
Mm-hmm.
Top Dog, The Last
Mm-hmm.
Meal, and Pay the Cost. Yeah, yeah, that's about right.
Paid the cost. I actually promoted for that one, but they never sent me the album. They sent me the 12-inch single for Beautiful.
Bullshit. Well, when my album at, motherfucker?
Right? Where my album at? They sent me the white label copy for that. But I heard that album, but I gotta go back and revisit that one though. But the first, well, to me, all his stuff on No Limit were great. I love all three albums on No Limit. You know what I'm
Spoiler
saying?
alert. I love that.
Yes, yes. The albums are hit and miss after. I want to say like Rhythm and Gangster. It's like hit and miss for me. You know, some of them I have unfortunately,
I would
but
say after Blue Carpet.
after Blue Cup, mm, what was before Blue Carpet? Wasn't that Rhythm and Gangster?
Yeah, that was Rhythm and Gangster.
Okay, well yeah, after Blue Carpet, yeah, because yeah, some of them are hit and miss for me. After that, what do you think of the Gravediggers? A great super group. Loved their first album. The second one was dope. You know, rest in peace to Too Poetic. It's a shame they couldn't stay together. I think they still could have did some great hardcore albums. Force MD's Tender Love or New Edition Can You Stand the Rain? Wow.
Can you stand there?
Gotta go with New Edition though, man. I love Force MD's, but it ain't too many times I'm picking against New Edition. Favorite Missy album? Uh, Probably I would say the Real World was my favorite. I got more than one. Like her first three to me were like her best. Missy So Addictive was a great album. Under Construction was one of my favorites also.
Yeah, her discography is pretty solid.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. It was dope. Second Grave Diggers album was a dope album, underappreciated. You know, that's coming. We definitely gonna talk about Missy's albums. You got any of her albums, Reg?
I only got one. And I want to say it's the Missy So Addictive album.
That was great. I
Yeah,
think I went the same day it came out to get that one actually.
look at you. I see.
I only did that for certain albums. Some of them I kind of regret doing that for, like that Snoop Ego Tripping album. But you know, if I really wanted it that same day, then I went to the record store to get it that same day. Hot Boy should have been the remix should have been on the album. They released it after, but she should have had the remix on there. I did Timbaland and the Neptunes find their own sound. Timbaland always had his own sound. I think Neptune's sound like was gradually they found their sound. Like if you hear them, their production on like Rump Shaker, that don't even sound like a Neptune's beat. And they co-produced with Teddy Riley on the Blackstreet second album, Another Level. So I think they found their sound over time. You know, I think it really started with Super Thug, and then it just took off from there. Like when you hear Lap Dance from the first Nerd album, and the first Khalees album, Kaleidoscope. That's when they really found their sound, and they just ran with it, and it's evolved to what it is now.
Definitely.
Favorite song on
Right.
Murder? Huh? Well,
Devontae Swing mentored Timberland, and
mm,
Teddy Riley mentored the Neptunes and shit.
right, right. Timbaland always had that sound. He always had that sound, like from co-producing with Devontae. You know, and even his sound like evolved too. Like if you listen to like Super Duper Fly and like the first Timbaland and Magoo album, his production style elevated. Like when you listen to like Justin Timberlake 2020 Experience, it's a totally different sound compared to back in like 97, 98. You know, Aaliyah's second album, One in a Million. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
even he took his production up a notch.
facts. So listen, I'm actually about to end up this video right here. This has been a very dope review. Maxwell's Embryo. Um, like I said, I'm gonna work on my list tonight,
All right.
so we can just get that out the way next week and shit. Um, Sunday is gonna be the trash review.
Friday.
Emil's All Money Is Legal album.
Friday.
Huh?
Friday is Snoop.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna mention that. Friday is Snoop Dogg. Discography breakdown. That's gonna be at 11:30 p.m. Um, and then like I said, I'm just gonna move the straight out of Compton. We're just gonna do that next Thursday and shit like that. I'll just give myself some space between some reviews and shit.
Right.
Um, I'll probably do this to like mid September and shit, low key, because I do want to talk about this album.
What's that? Oh, Gorillas, yes. Definitely. The Lynch
Yeah,
Mob.
definitely want to talk about this album and shit like that. I don't know when though, but um, definitely next month and shit. I don't know when. So yeah, and then definitely stay tuned for a lot of dope shit. You know what I'm saying? And then the Game on the Hub, that's gonna be the week after next and shit like that. So
Yeah.
just gonna get those out the way. Other than that, it's a really dope review. Definitely can't wait to talk about the Emil album and Snoop discography breakdown and shit like that. Snoop got like 30,000 albums and shit, so I gotta get my ass
uh,
doing and shit. Other than
that's
that,
funny.
yes sir. I'm gonna end it off right here. Appreciate this try.
Yeah.
Hope everyone has a good night. Peace.
Peace.